Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the new show, The New View. This is now streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. You can join us, follow us on Oslas Consulting, and the New View program will be now free live, which was earlier conducted in a very closed group environment. And this is streaming on Facebook and YouTube. You can follow us anywhere you want. The New View was the concept which me and Mr. Harish Mehta, we sat together and we decided how to contribute in the lockdown time. And with the God grace and your all blessings, this has caught up with a lot of people, and where we try to value add and pour into our knowledge and what we have learned, and equally learn from you also in the process. So let's start the Facebook and live on YouTube today with a new episode. We have covered 7 episodes in initial stages, and I will now welcome Mr. Harish to share the screen with me and where we can restart. Welcome, Mr. Harish.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, sir, welcome to this new format, and thank you for advising. Let's reach to the masses and let's get out of this small video conferencing sessions. And I am really, really grateful that you are investing all your time and energy with me on Sundays. And also, with this idea, let us bring in one speaker every show, and where we can not only us, but also the people who will come and contribute their learnings, their expertise with the masses. Thank you for that, sir.
I am blessed, Sanjay, that I'm a part of this program. And today we are entering the 7th Sunday. Am I
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir.
And I continue to look at growing this community and would love to. Okay, let me focus on where I need to give.
The other way. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. You learn by looking at yourself over and over again. Yeah. So I am happy and proud to say that I am building a community with you of people who would love to look at themselves and bring that shift in themselves to become great and change the way they have been doing things and creating a new you in them, and along with that, creating a new you with people around them. So, with that perspective in mind, I thought of creating this community and bringing more and more people to share their knowledge, to share their wisdom, and create a new you in the community we are creating. So I have happy to share that I am looking forward to some great people joining
Yes.
you on live Facebook every Sunday 4 p.m. along with their community that we want to create. I want to create an identity for all of them that they should feel that this is a great platform for them to start new, to showcase the new, to bring the new, and become the new. That today we are starting the first session with a very close, very dear, bubbly, I can't use the word sexy, but bubbly, sexy, and a great human being. She has come into my life, and I'm proud to share her with you today. She's got some extraordinary talent. She's got some extraordinary energy. She's got some extraordinary physique. And she's got some extraordinary power that we are together today. on this platform, and we wish to showcase a lot of strength that she has and we have together in the times to come. So I'm so happy and proud that we are here today and looking forward to create a great community of the new you, not only in India, but we are looking at globally. As and when we keep talking about this, people will talk, and I'm going to share the recordings with all the communities that I am part of, from Australia, New Zealand to Trinidad, Tobago, and Jamaica, along with USA, Canada, Europe, South Africa, Turkey, and other countries where I have friends of mine, where we have communities, and we are together, including Bangladesh, Philippines,
Yeah.
and my dear friend Aisha from Australia. So we are going to talk about this, and I'm going to be happy today that we are starting this new session, sharing with Sanjay and me a new speaker, a new talent, and showcasing her talent to you. So this is for now, and looking forward to have the first person on. Sanjay, would you like to introduce the person? Thank you.
Yes. Yes, sir. So today, as we said, we are changing the format, and we are not only live, but also we are bringing in the guest speakers in our show. Today, our guest speaker is somebody you will be really excited to know, as Mr. Harish has already introduced her. Without taking any more time, and let me introduce our speaker for the day, Vasundhara. Hi, Vasundhara. You need to unmute yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, both you
Welcome.
wonderful people. Thank you, Harish ji, for giving this opportunity to me. And thank you, Sanjay ji, for organizing this and having me here. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and a privilege, both.
Our privilege. So, would you like to spend some time and introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Sure. So I'm a yogini, and I've been practicing yoga way of life since the age 13. So that's about 26 years now. And I'm also a life coach. I enhance people's lives. I give them clarity, and that in turn makes them more powerful and therefore more happy. As a yoga instructor, teacher, and a yoga way of life flag bearer, I share the knowledge and the wisdom from the Vedas, from the Yoga Sutras, from all our old scriptures, which have been nicely, comfortably tucked away, only to be left for a wise few who adhere to that lifestyle and lead a beautifully happy life. But that should not be the case. My motto is to make spirituality sexy and self-love absolutely sacred. So here I am.
Awesome. So, do you know what we do in the show? A very weird question.
Please enlighten me.
So this session is basically we are sharing our expertise, our knowledge with the community. That's the only objective. And second objective is to how to uplift the mood of the people right now. Most of us are still in the lockdown. Still, we are struggling.
Right.
And this series we started when the lockdown was at the peak.
Right.
And this series is all about investing in yourself. How can we invest in ourselves? And it is an ocean. A lot of people want to invest in themselves, but they don't know how they will invest, where they will invest. And my objective is only to bring the real expert in to the audience, who can speak. And if the audience has any query, any question, it should be resolved right there and then.
Perfect.
Like Mr. Harish always teaches us, it's now or never. So
Wonderful.
It has to be now. The concept here is very, very live. Life has to be live. So, Mr. Harish, today, would you like to start for proceeding for the day?
Yeah, I would like Vasundhara to share what she has in mind, and then I would like to ask her a couple of questions and see what the audience would love to know from her. And maybe, if there is some time, I would like to share my thoughts. So, Vasundhara,
Yeah.
would you like to speak? And then I would like to ask you some questions. Go ahead.
Absolutely. All right. So, namaste, everyone. All you beautiful people who've logged in and taken this time to watch us all, listen to us all. Thank you for joining us. My topic for the day is yoga and self-love. And like Sanjay ji also mentioned that we've been under lockdown for quite a few months. And it is a painful experience for a lot of us. But I feel we've been under lockdowns since forever. Since the time we've taken births. Since the time we started thinking and understanding and started feeling, we've locked everything else down. That we are who we are. Isn't it? One painful experience, we've locked down our heart. Yes, isn't it? Somebody said something which is negative about us, and we've locked down our thinking processes as well. So we become herds and we think alike, want to fit in. Isn't that true? Our lifestyles are so bad, so sedentary, that we've locked down our bodies as well. And what happens when you've locked down your heart, your mind, and your body? How are you going to function? You tell me instead of me telling you. You know it better than I do, isn't it? So for me, the yoga way of living your life is the way forward. If you want to bring all these three aspects and the spirit in alignment, that is your mind, your heart, your body, and your spirit, then you're going to live a life in alignment with nature, isn't it? What are the rules of the nature? The sun sets, rises at a particular time, sets at a particular time. What are your timings? There's nature that is abundant of fresh, seasonal, local food items. Fruits, vegetables, you name it, and we have it. What are you consuming? There are all kinds of people around us who we have the freedom to choose from. Who are you choosing to hang out with? Who are you choosing to expose yourselves with? All this is yoga. Yoga is not about you flexing your arms, moving your legs, getting into a contraction, a posture you imagine you cannot come out of. That is so not yoga. Yoga means you living in tune with who you really are. And who are you? Ever thought of who are you? Are you the name you carry? Are you the title you carry? Are you the relationships you are in? Are you the roles you play in your life? Who are you really? According to yoga, we are made up of 5 koshas. How many? 5 koshas. If you're with me, type 5 in the comment box. We are made up of 5 koshas. Koshas is nothing but the sheets that cover us, the cover the real soul within. It's like the onion. Imagine an onion. The layers you peel the 5th layer, you arrive at the 4th layer. You peel the 4th, you arrive at the 3rd. You peel the 3rd, there comes the 2nd, and then the 1st. And there inside is the bulb of the onion. Isn't it the tiny little thing? That is your soul. That's you, the real you, your spirit, which has no contraptions or no the shackles in which a person lives. None of that actually is the quality of that bulb. But in order for you to reach the bulb, you got to peel the onion peels one after the other. And what are those onion peels? The first layer is nothing but your Annamaya Kosha. Anna means food. What you eat is what you become. Haven't we heard that before? That's exactly what this first sheets of our existence is all about. What do you put in your body becomes you. So you have to be very mindful of what you eat, how you treat your food, who cooks it for you. That also becomes a part of the food. Extremely important. There was an experiment that I did, and that's also put up on one of my YouTube videos channel, on my channel, which is called Knowing How Energy Can Impact the Food. There were 2 jars taken, one bad jar and one good jar, labeled as bad and labeled as good simultaneously. And there were pohas, 1 spoonful of pohas put in both these jars at the same time. The same bowl in which the pohas were made were put in the 2 jars. And one was given bad vibes, one was told bad things, and the other one was given good vibes and told good words, said good things to, felt nice about. And both these jars, the pohas which it contained, deteriorated differently. The one which was labeled bad became uglier and deteriorated faster. It decomposed and became far more uglier looking, far more black, far more fungi than the one which had good as its label, had good feelings sent to. It deteriorated far lesser in comparison to the other jar. What does this say? Just because this experiment was done in transparent containers, we could see what was happening to the food items to which we sent out different energies. But do you know what happens when you do that to your own self? And that's where I'm going to touch upon the self-love after I'm done explaining the 5 koshas. What do you do to someone who you speak badly to, or who you send out bad energies to, or who you think badly about? But before that person gets impacted, you are the first person who gets impacted, just like the jars do. And it's a beautiful experience. Go watch it. The second kosha is your pranamaya kosha. And that's where the pranayama comes into the picture. What are these pranas? There are 5 types of pranas within our body. All of them operate on different levels, different sections of our body. So one section is this portion, the other section is the portion right about at your chest level to your navel. There's another portion below your navel to your anus. There's another portion that governs the limbs. There's another portion that governs the entire body. If this prana is functioning well, you are functioning absolutely super. And how do you make these pranas function well? That's by the yoga way of life. Not just your asanas, not just your pranayama, but a whole way of living your life, including your food that we discussed in our Annamaya Kosha. Because if that is not addressed, this will not function well at all. Imagine if you are constipated, how well would your pranas flow in your body? Would you even think about doing a project which is maybe going to take 2x of your energies when your bowels are not empty? Can you imagine that? You can't. Which is why the first kosha, and which is where the whole world thinks yoga is all about. And basically the practitioners are stuck in is the physical level. They think this is yoga, but that's not the case. The next kosha comes the pranamaya kosha. The one after that comes manomaya kosha. That's got to do with your mind. How does your mind operate? What are you feeding it? How are you training it? How are you taming it? Please mind that the mind is a monkey mind. So just like a monkey, it'll go from one branch to the other in a jiffy. Just within a few moments, it'll be thinking one thought. Then it'll be thinking another thought. Then it'll be thinking of another thought. Even while you're watching me, I'm sure you're thinking 10 other thoughts, right? Something's popping up, something's making sense. Maybe you're Googling the video that I have made. Maybe you're looking at something else. Maybe you're talking to something else. Maybe you're answering your phone. There are like 100 things happening simultaneously with all of you, all of us, simultaneously within fractions of seconds. So this monkey mind has to be tamed, and that's where Manomaya Kosha comes into the picture. How do you tame it? Again, the yoga way of life. It all brings the mind into a focused state where from there you can go achieve your goals, even in a disciplined manner, in a focused manner, putting in all your sattvic energy into for and making things happen. The things that you think are unimaginable, but actually it all needs is you coming together, all parts of you coming together and going after your dreams, and anything is possible. So that's the third kosha. The fourth kosha is the Vijnanamaya kosha, the wisdom kosha. This is where you know, you understand from your experience, not believing. Believing is for the elementary level practitioners or somebody who's just about started on a journey of self-awareness. They address the beliefs. But here you really know from your own experience who you are and who you are not. What do you want and what do you don't want? What do you really need and what you don't? That's about the Vijnanamaya Kosha. It gives you the wisdom to know what is best for you and go after that. So that's the fourth kosha. How is this applied and achieved? Again, the yoga way of life. And the fifth kosha is the Anandamaya kosha, the final bliss, the happiness that the whole world is chasing about. Is this the fifth kosha, which is closest to your crux, which is your soul or your spirit? That's the Anandamaya kosha, the ultimate happiness, the ultimate blissful, joyful state of mind, body, spirit, emotions, all stability. And that's again, it's reached through constant, everyday practice of yoga way of living. And by practice, I don't mean just the asana physical practice. I do not mean just the pranayam practice. I do not even mean just the meditation practice. Besides these three, and these three are compulsory, there's a whole lot of other stuff that contributes to the yoga way of life. It's an 8-limbed Ashtanga practice. It starts with being a certain way with the society, having your ethics, your values in place, and then being a certain way with your own self. How do you treat yourself? And that's where self-love comes into the picture. And then comes handling your bodies, your energies, getting into your inner state by meditation, and then reaching your bliss state. So this is how you travel from the outside to the inside. So that's yoga in brief. This is just the tipping point. And there's like a whole lot. The deeper you go, the more it is for you to learn. And maybe even one lifetime is not enough. I know for sure that it is not enough. There's always a higher state to go to once you've reached a certain state already. What is self-love then? If all this is yoga, how is it related to self-love? How many of you have a problem saying no to people? How many of you have a problem raising your standards, standing up for yourself? Yes. How many of you have a problem with speaking your mind, communicating what is there in your hearts? That is not self-love. If you truly love yourself, you will preserve who you are at the core. And then from there, the light emanates through you and lights up the whole world. But what mostly is practiced is the other way around. Then let me light up the whole world first, and that lit up world in turn will light me up. But that doesn't work, right? What's your experience been? Has it worked for you? It doesn't. So self-love before understanding what self-love is, let's understand what is love. I loved my hair. Like, I had really long, luscious, curly, this long hair, which I would pamper, take care of, go to the spas, get some things done. And a point came that I just shed it all out. I shaved my head. What happened? What happened to the love? Did I not love myself then when I had shaved head? Was the hair the factor that I loved? Or was it the feeling I had with the hair that I had? That long hair made me feel nice. That's why I loved it. But when I shaved it, I loved the shaved look too. I loved it too. So I love the feeling of having a shaved head too. I love my nails, they're like nicely chopped, nicely manicured. Yeah. So I look after them. Sometimes I have long nails, very seldom though nowadays. And I paint them nice red, orange. It looks really nice. But what happens when I find that nail in my meal? If I'm having dinner and if I find my nail chopped into a nice fine piece and I find it in my chapati, for example, do I love it as much? It's nice and manicured. It's red in color. It's beautiful looking. It's shining even in my chapati. Do I still love it? No, right? So what is it that I love about my nail, but I don't when I see it somewhere else? Right? It's the feeling we have towards the nail, right? When it's a part of us, not anywhere else. So it's a feeling of love that we feel towards something that we crave for. I feel good when I'm with you, right? Who feels good? I may not feel good. Maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I may not feel the same. So what happened? You changed or I changed? It's my feeling. So that is love. Now, the self-love is such a crutch. Is such a boon, not a crutch, but it's a boon to handle the crutch of love that we think it is a certain way. So when you say I love someone, you would rather point all that love towards you and love yourself for who you are. And that is self-love. In yoga, it is called swadharma, duty towards yourself. Dharma traditionally never meant what it means today. It was never about religion. It was about your duty. What is your duty? Just like the flower's duty is to bloom. Yes, it is aiding in pollination, which is why more flowers are coming and therefore we have fruits to eat. Imagine if the pollination didn't happen, where would all the fruits come from? Where would all the flowers come from? There wouldn't be any. So flowers' duty is to do this, aid in this. What's a tree's duty? It is to give us oxygen, it is to give us shade, it is to give us all that it gives us, right? Plants, medicines and fruits and flowers and all of that. So that's the tree's duty. What is your duty? Your utmost, foremost, the first duty that you have to address is your self-love towards you, your love towards you. That is your duty. After that, in yoga, it says, first self-love, then comes your family. Then comes your friend circle after your family. And then comes the society and furthermore, the world at large. What do? We go the reverse way around. We fill the society's expectations. We want to look good in the world. Then we make sure that the friends are happy. We answer their phone calls first. But whereas if our father or mother are calling, we wouldn't be doing that as much, right? Most of the people around, I know, will not do that. Friends first, and then the family, and then themselves at last. So what happens? This leads to an imbalance. This leads to being needy in the world outside. That I'm doing so much for the world, I'm doing so much for the society, I'm doing so much for my friends. What am I getting in return? Illa. So self-love is absolutely important, and it is a part of the yoga way of life. It is like condition number 1. Do this for your own self and everything else will fall in place. all that you desire, all that you dream of, your core necessities, which is you needing, wanting abundance in your life, you needing, wanting freedom in your life, and you needing, wanting peace in your life. Like imagine if you had abundance, if you had a helicopter to take you from one point to the other, but you didn't have the freedom to call the shots. You were at the mercy of somebody else. Would that be okay? Supposing you had the freedom, you had the abundance, you had the whole world's money there is in your pocket. But if you didn't have peace, if you didn't have peace of mind, would that be okay? So the yoga way of life helps you to bring all these three aspects beautifully together for you to live a satisfied, a content, a magnanimous life. You think and things happen. That's the life you will lead when you are in tune with your spirit. And for that, live the yoga life and love yourself the most. And one more thing about self love that I would like to bring upon is most people misunderstand self love for selfishness. It is highly misunderstood as selfishness because the ones who call it selfishness are the ones who are highly deprived of the self love themselves. They are the ones who expect something from you in return. They want you to do something for them. They want you to be a certain way for their benefit. They want you to do something so that they can benefit, right? And when you turn it around and make yourself your priority and do the other stuff later as second priority, they have a problem with that, right? And they are the ones who will call you names. Be aware of who they are and note what is it that their need is, and assure them if they are a loved one that you will address their needs, but after filling up your glass first. When your fountain is flooding with whole lot of beautiful sacred water, it's but obvious that the others are going to quench their thirst, isn't it? But if you are empty, how long will you quench others' thirst? And where will you bring that water to quench others' thirsts from? So,
So that
as I
was
leave
great.
you, yeah, thank you so much for this time. And I leave you on this note that makes spirituality sexy and self love sacred. Thank you so much for watching me, listening to me. Hope you loved it. Thank you.
I'm sure people listening to you got to know the three words beautifully: mind, body, and spirit. And how beautifully you touched upon all the three aspects in your conversation with those people who are watching you.
Thank you.
I feel it is important for the alignment to happen. As you all know, I speak on the mind. I speak on how you can control your mind and control your life. And when you have your mind in your control, your body in your control, and your spirits in your control, that makes a total body, mind, spirit in harmony, is what is the ideal situation I feel. Vasundhara, I want to ask you, those people who are here, uh, in terms of the business owners, leaders, and CEOs, I find this harmony missing. Either they are not in control of their body, and
Yeah,
most often not in control of their mind, and least often in control of their spirits.
true.
So, if I may ask you, a formula which they could do with an immediate fix, how long will it take? How consistent they need to be? And what is the quick fix you can give them today? I say that again, know that they have enough time, but still they were always having paucity of time. They could not think about this which has happened. because they were busy doing without getting the results they wanted. So today, I think if they can focus on these three words, the mental and the physical and the spirit that you're talking about, what formula you would like to suggest to them could be a quick fix they would love to do and they'll be happy to do, and they could see the results at the soonest?
All right. So the very first sutra that's mentioned in the Yoga Sutra says Atha Yoganushasanam. Now, the yoga, which is a discipline, begins. And the yoga way of life is explained in the 195 sutras, the balanced ones. So let's understand there's only one formula to achieving all that you want to achieve, and that's discipline. There's no shortcut. If you, for example, if you want to go potty every day, you have to give it time, don't you? You got to have time aside for brushing your teeth. You got to have time aside to feed yourself. Now, how you feed yourself is another conversation altogether, but these are necessities for which you do make time, right? For you to live a life of abundance, freedom, and peace, you have to keep aside some time to practice the Pranamaya Kosha, the Annamaya Kosha, the Manomaya Kosha, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, and enjoy the Anandamaya Kosha. So there's no shortcut. Yoga way of life is a disciplined way of life, and if you want to enjoy its benefits, look, half your age, feel 100x energy within you, be positive all the time. You have to sow the seeds, water the seed, tend to it, give it some sun. You have to live a disciplined way of life. So that's my reply to your question. Hope it makes sense.
So you will say ideal is half an hour, 20 minutes, or how much should they allocate as a resource of time every single day so that they can move themselves to that direction of creating a happy mind, a happy body, and a happy spirit? Because happiness is what we are all looking for in life.
Yeah.
And what is eluding us is everything that we do otherwise than creating happiness and joy. So we are all looking at the scarcity mind, not looking at the happy and the abundant mind.
Correct.
So if I would ask you, how much minimum, you said your 6, 7, those great words which you said. Now, if they were to do as a routine, how could we help them, give them a small half an hour session as a program maybe in future where they could learn and you could show them how to do it and how to enjoy that process? And how long do you feel is minimum to be disciplined, to be consistent with that, could create that joy in them, and they'll be happy and blessed and say thanks to you that they could shift their mind to doing the yoga way of living the life, transforming their life, looking at their mindset, the body set, and the spirit set. So I would like you to share in the next 2 minutes how people should engage in that. And there is definity of results, certainty of results, which they can see, and they'll bless you for having taught them that.
Well, as I say, yoga is a lifestyle. So is a lifestyle lived in 30 minutes or 40 minutes or 60 minutes or 10 minutes? Lifestyle is lived 24/7. So it's not something you do in the morning and do some in the evening and you done and you have lived a yoga life. No, it doesn't mean that. Even circus, those most of the yoga practitioners in the world, isn't it? Even gymnasts, the dancers, ballet dancers for that matter, the way they stretch, the way they twist, the way they turn, Look at their bodies. But are they in alignment mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually? Can we call them in alignment with all their 5 koshas? That's something we need to find out, right? So it's not a morning stretch exercise, movement, twists, some breathing exercise, and getting into some meditation, feeling nice. And as soon as you are off the mat, there you go into your shitty world, right? What about that? That is where the imbalance is. That is where you need to address the issues which are unaddressed. And that's a 24/7 job.
So
You
most
can't,
often people look at yoga the way I asked you these questions.
yeah,
And I want people to realize that you have to shift your habits, discipline your life
yeah,
to live the yoga way of living your mind, body, and soul. And it is a consistent exercise which has to become a habit over a period of time. And habits will take time to form, but that will form provided you remove your dirty habits, provided
absolutely.
you remove your bad and ugly,
Yeah,
provided you remove that I will do it tomorrow. If it has to be done, those decisions have to be taken, and you need to move towards getting into this. We
yep,
can assist you, we can hold your hand, we can coach you to live that life, but that has to be lived by you 24 by 7. To be good 24 by 7, you have to live that way. And also, I am reminded here of the 3 point plan which I share, which is proximity is power. I repeat, which is proximity is power. How you upgrade your standards. Number one, how you upgrade your beliefs. Number two, and how you upgrade your strategy of bringing all these three in. By standards, I mean by raising your expectations and demanding more from yourself and from those around you. It's very important that you have to demand more from yourself. And it is not easy. I appreciate, Vasundhara, what you said. You need to demand more so that you are in a position to be there. And I said, it's all about that power which you can create by upping your standards, by believing in those that you need to question yourself and replace that this slows you down and this impedes your program or progress. You need to work hard on those areas. And this is what I say. You have to up your strategy. You have to model yourself and create a successful behavior pattern which moves into that zone where you command. Yes, where you command that I own my life. I'm so happy, Vasundhara, that you could share that how the yoga way can help you bring proximity to the power of health, happiness, and the soul is also participating in that. And how I correlated with this, individuals, business owners, leaders need to up their standards, up their beliefs, and up their strategy for personal living, for living of people around them, and especially the leaders, how they need to grow themselves by upping. I remember my friend Ron Kaufman from Singapore. He talks about uplifting service, the service levels that you need to create for yourself to serve the community, to serve the industry, and he speaks specially for the hospitality industry. What they need to do to upserve every single aspect of their service. And remember, he serves the Singapore Airlines. He has created a new culture. I am so grateful to Ron that he has changed the whole way. The whole airline moved, the whole country moves, and he's a great human being. So these three words I want people to remember, proximity is power. And how is it power? By upping your mental awareness, your physical awareness, and your awareness of the soul, which is the spirit. And the more you work on these three words, life is going to be good. Life is going to be challenging. Life is going to be beautiful. And you're going to love living this life. And I'm so happy, Vasundhara, you shared this, and I correlate it with what I speak, moving from scarcity to abundance. An abundant mindset has to have an abundant body. An abundant body has to have an abundant spirit. So all these are in harmony. All these are correlated. And how we have come together on this platform, sharing this with those people, not only on the platform here, but I'm sure the recordings will go far and wide, and people will know they need to know more about the yoga way of transformation and moving the mind, the body, and the spirit together to bring that harmony and joy for life. That was great. That was superb.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that was super.
Thank you
I'm
so
so
much.
happy.
Vasundhara,
Yes.
I have a question here. So for a common people, a lot of us go through the lot of stress and all these things these days. And we still have a lot of places in a lockdown situations, or the movement is still restricted, right? So, for example, if I'm here right now, stuck in the home, I need a little bit of peace of mind. I'm willing to work on it. But like you were speaking when you initially started, while you're talking, mind must be thinking hajar questions, in the back of the mind. And that's a fact. And it's like a monkey, like you really explained well, it's like a monkey, it will jump. So as a layman like me, how will I first identify that monkey itself?
You don't need to identify, you just need to be aware. The minute you know that you are watching this and become aware of it having gone somewhere else, there, you've nailed it. You've caught hold of, you've caught it by its tail. Now you bring it back to you.
Correct.
Now, what yoga practices do is build up your awareness. You're able to catch hold of the monkey by its tail quicker, get it back faster. The monkey is going to go away. It is its nature. It's never going to stop going about from one branch to the other.
So is anything that, sorry.
Yeah, but getting it back becomes faster, quicker, and easier.
So is there any, like a common person, if anybody like me wants to sit down and tame that monkey or catch that monkey, is there anything, a mind practice? I'm sure in the yoga, there'll be some little bit of, I'm actually looking at some tips, how we can initiate that, trigger that.
Okay. The easiest is to practice pranayama. To focus your attention on your breath. Start with 3 inhales. So let's do a half a minute practice.
Sure. Let's do it.
So begin with me. Exhale completely. Exhale. Sit up straight, spine erect, shoulders tight, and nicely moved back. Exhale completely and inhale as much as you can. And exhale completely again. Close your eyes. Inhale completely and let go. Now let's do that in 3 counts. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. And exhale, 2, 3. And very gently open your eyes. This is a very quick 30-second snapshot of what it does to your mind. Some of you who've gone into it quicker and deeper may already be feeling a little calm.
Yeah.
And if you do it for an extended period of time, say for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, a variation of this, there are so many variations of pranayama. This is just the basic entry level. It'll be amazing. It'll be amazing for your mind to feel that calm, and in that space, and it's very easy to feel clarity, get clarity, make decisions, do the tough, so-called tough stuff in your life.
Yeah. So I request the viewers, if they have any questions, they can put in the comment box. We can highlight your questions. So in the meantime, Vasundhara, there is.
Hi, Payal. Hi, Pratapji. Thank you.
Okay. We can go to next.
Hi, Mamta.
You have a great fan following.
Thank you, Mahendra ji. So if you say that,
Okay.
then
So
yes, be
so
aware
that is
of
my
it.
request to the viewers. If they have any questions, they can post their questions so that the guest speaker can address the same. So last but not the least, what are your courses, or do you conduct any sessions? Anybody wants to follow you, how will they follow you?
So yes, I am coming up with an online course for everybody to follow the yoga way of life. It is going to be a beautifully short, beautifully articulated, and an authentic representation of what really yoga is, not the diluted versions that we see and call yoga today. So sticking to what Yoga Sutras really had in mind, I have come up with a design which is going to be launched in 1 month's time. It's going to be called The Yoga Life, and you will find me on my Facebook page called Vasundhara Talware. You'll find me on my Instagram as well, same name, Vasundhara Talware. You can follow me on YouTube, same Vasundhara Talware, and LinkedIn, Vasundhara Talware. So these are the 4 places I'm very active now that I know that I must share this beautiful wisdom that I have received since childhood, and it's time that I just give it away.
Yeah. Okay. So before we sign off, so I believe that you started all your spiritual journey and yoga early at the age of 13.
Yeah. Actually, much
So
before
any
that.
childhood experiences you would like to share? Okay.
So I did start much before that, but technically got
any
enrolled
specific to the children. Why I'm asking you the childhood experience, especially because these days childrens are the most audience who are stuck inside. I really appreciate the children around.
Yeah.
Anything for them.
Yeah. So talking of children, I am on board with 2 schools, international schools, where I am helping them design a curriculum around yoga way of living life, starting from the childhood itself. It's amazing to do this right from when you're forming opinions and getting into a set way of life. This lifestyle is just amazing. And that's exactly the reason why I don't look my age. That's because I started very early in my life. And that is not to say that you cannot. You can still. I know I have some clients who halve their ages just by practicing this with a disciplined way for 1 year. My childhood memory, my dad is the one who got me introduced to the technicalities of the yoga way of life. Otherwise, it was a way of life for at our home. But he and I both got enrolled in a neighborhood yoga school. One of the oldest is an offshoot of the Bihar School of Yoga. Thankfully, we enrolled in the authentic school where the actual, the crux is taught. And we both used to go, we used to wake up at 4:30, attend the class at 5, come back at 6:30. So those are beautiful memories. And before I went to school every day, we both would stand in alignment, one ahead of the other. So I would stand in the front, my father at the back, and we would do Surya Namaskars watching our reflection in the mirror in the front. So that was really nice. So my dad used to say the mantras, Om, Ram, Bhim, Rum, inhale, exhale.
Yeah.
And we both used to do that. So we used to do 12 without fail. Then I would get ready and go away on my bicycle. So yeah, that's beautiful. And I'm
Okay.
so grateful
Amazing.
he introduced
Amazing.
me to yoga. He introduced me to Vipassana also. He would always tell me that if I misbehave or if I don't listen, he will send me away to Vipassana. And I never understood what he really meant by it, why does he want me to send to, what is there in Vipassana, And then after I came back, after quitting my job with Intel, when I came back here, I myself wanted to experience what that Vipassana was. And there was no looking back. After I did it, it's my way of life.
And how was the experience at Mount Kilimanjaro? I cannot pronounce.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah. How was the experience?
I'm a solo traveler. I love traveling, and I've been solo traveling since 2005. And I've visited the smallest nooks and corners of the world where people generally don't want to go even. But I love looking at those countryside places, staying in small cottages and knowing the families, eating with them, conversing with them. So one place, one country, like a whole continent, that is Africa, I had not touched because I had heard stories about how unsafe it is for a girl solo traveler to go visit that place.
Yeah.
And there's also Latin America. So I was like, yeah, jana hai, it's been so long, I've not visited Africa at all. I've not even touched it. So how can I go? How can I start my journey? So there was a group that I had gone with to do whitewater rafting over Brahmaputra. That's another. So 200 kilometers of whitewater rafting. The same company was organizing a safari in Africa, Masai Mara, and a trek to Kilimanjaro. Then I said, yeah, in case I'll go with these guys. Kya karenge? Should I pick up Masai Mara or should I pick Kilimanjaro? So mera utna budget nahi tha. Both these together were going to cost a bomb. So I had only one to choose. So I said, let's do Kilimanjaro. It'll be fun. It'll be trekking. It'll be healthy. Kya gaadi mein baithne kya elements ko kya dekhna hai. So I chose the other. And I had never climbed such a big mountain in my life. The tallest was the Brahmagiri, which is in my neighborhood in Nasik, which is next to the Shiva temple. That was the tallest I had ever climbed. So this I went with like full confidence, full josh.
Full bindas.
And talking about mindset, in my mind, I had already summited the mountain. So it was just a matter of me taking one step after the other and climbing the mountain. That is what worked for me. Because the temperatures were obnoxious, -degrees temperatures. My nose used to bleed and I thought I was going to die.
It happens, yeah.
There was a point just one day before the summit where I got breathless and I thought I'm going to... I mean, my mind was fuzzy. I was breathless, and I thought I was going to fall in the valley because it was a very narrow path, hardly enough to put 2 feet. And
That's
thought
how it is on the mountains.
Yeah, so I thought I'm going to faint and fall in the valley. So it was one of the best experiences of my life. And I could do it only because of my yoga way of living life. I would wake up 1 hour before everyone, alarm laga ke, I would do my pranayama. I would do my basic asanas, very basic, because at that altitude, you can't do too much. And I would meditate. And that's exactly what got me through. Otherwise, had I become fearful or anxious or anything else, I wouldn't have made it.
Correct.
So
I think, for the audience, in our last session, which we used to do in a very closed environment, today we are on a live. And if the audience from that session is here today live, listening to what Vasundhara had to share about the real lifetime experience, she said she imagined the experience before actually she could start. and
Yeah.
got prepared. And the audience which was there exactly in the last Sunday with us, that is what Mr. Harish was actually saying, that imagine that Mount Everest, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
So that
Yeah.
that is a
Power of your
connect for the
mind.
people, power of
Yes.
mind.
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Harish would like to tell to the new audience today about that Mount Everest thing.
Yeah. There are three words which I talk about. BE multiplied by DO is equal to HAVE. So B is believe in yourself. Do is the effort you need to do to get your Mount Everest, which is the have. So the more you be, the more you do, the more you have. The less you be, the less you do, the less you have. And when I said, be mindful that I need to be in control of my mind, my body, and my soul, and move on the journey of belief, the effort is due, and get your Mount Everest. Each one of you does not know me thus far, I would like to share with you. It is important for you, A, to start with the belief. B, I need to work hard on myself than I've ever worked on myself, be it in the job or be it in the business. And I need to have in this life my Mount Everest. You don't be born again to get your Mount Everest. So it's important for you to believe I need to do it now. And there three words come in again: 24/7, positive mental attitude, self discipline, and the third is enthusiasm. I talk about the 17 pillars of success. Out of these three pillars of success, if you practice hard, the yoga way now. Now you know the Vasundhara's yoga way. If you do it that way, you are in control of your mind, body, and spirit. And you are not only happy, but also abundant. So these two words you need to carry with yourself every single day and live a great life of bliss. And number two, then it becomes your responsibility to teach more and more people. More and more people, create the community who will be happy to learn by listening to you, to create that life which they deserve. I repeat, to create the life they deserve by listening to your wisdom, by having that extra knowledge, and by enhancing their skill set by doing it over and over again. I am very sure that this series, which we have started today, we'll get some great speakers in this series. I'm building a beautiful community in Mumbai as the professional speakers also. I would love to give them an opportunity to be a part of your program or our program. I mean, me and you, Sanjay, and now Vasundhara has joined us. So we'll have all of them, give them an opportunity to show their talent, show the depth of knowledge, show their skill, and come out with the faith that yes, this is all achievable, this is all doable, and we need to do it now. Now, in this life, which starts from today. And I cannot let go that first line of mine. It's in your moments of decision that you design your destiny. So, my friends, today, what you have learned from Vasundhara, it is very important for you to make that decision that you need to take control of your mind, body, and spirit and bring happiness, joy, abundance to yourself and the community that you belong to, and create such communities globally.
That's really awesome. I'm sorry, I'm facing some internet issues. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah. We
I
can
am
hear you.
I am
Okay.
so happy that we, Masundara, me and you could do this session today,
Yeah.
despite despite the internet issues, because we have an
Yes,
abundant
yes.
mindset.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So these are the words of wisdom from Mr. Harish, and thank you, Vasundhara, for joining us today. I think I have a video lag, but audio is going on.
Thank you. Big heart to both of you. Wonderful gentlemen. Thank you so much for having me over. बहुत मजा आया. Super. Love you both.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Love you too. And
all the ones who watched us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sure, and the experience what we have, this video stays, and then people also watch later. I'm sure those who want to connect to us will definitely connect to us. And
Yeah. I want you to share the recording so that we can share it in our groups, and they should
Yeah.
enjoy what we have shared today, and they should be a part of the growing process from today.
fantastic.
Thank you, Sanjay. You are great. You are great. Love you guys.
Thank you,
Love
Sanjay ji.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Thank you.
Love
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Great session today.